Hey YouTube, it's Linda, and I'm going to make some biscuits this morning. I know a lot of people make biscuits, but I thought I'd do a little video so some friends of mine and my daughter can have my recipe. Anyways, I've got about 2 cups of flour in here, maybe 3. You know how I am with measuring. A couple good pinches of salt go in here. And I'm going to use the butter flavored Crisco this morning. You could use lard, you could use butter, you just need some kind of a fat in here. This is what makes them flaky and really good. So, this is a pastry cutter. Gotta have it if you're gonna make pies or biscuits. I use it in my tortillas. I use it all the time. Now I'm going to make buttermilk biscuits this morning, so get that all cut in there until you got like pea-sized pieces of the Crisco in there. And that was probably a half a cup of Crisco. Exact measurements, you just want a nice workable soft dough. You don't want some stiff hard dough. Okay, and I'm just making breakfast out of the pantry this morning. I didn't really, it's kind of, am I in the mood for a big breakfast or not? And so, in this, we probably won't eat lunch. We'll have breakfast and dinner. Okay, so I've got all that broken up. I'm going to grab one more ingredient here before I get too carried away. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I almost forgot one of the most important ingredients, and that's baking powder. So, need some baking powder in there so they'll rise up. And I also put a tablespoon of my dough enhancer because this is a white wheat dough or white wheat flour. Wheat and whole wheat can be kind of heavy, and this will lighten it up. So I'm going to get that all incorporated in there, and then we'll move forward. By the time I'm done getting this all rolled out and everything, that will be well incorporated. So it's pretty forgiving. And at this point, if I was going to add like cheese, or I do cheese and sausage biscuits sometimes, those are really good. If I was going to add that, I would add it right now. But we're just going to have plain buttermilk biscuits. I want to make sure my buttermilk is nice and cold. And I just start adding that in. Biscuits are probably one of the cheapest, easiest things you can make, other than bread and tortillas. I just don't see a need to buy them. It takes all of minutes to get them ready, and they're so good. So I just get this worked in here, and when I feel like I can work this dough a little bit out on the board, then I'll go ahead. This is where a KitchenAid mixer would come in handy. Hint, hint. No, my husband's not watching, so. I'm going to get some flour out here and on my hands. You're not really kneading it, but you're getting it all incorporated. You want that nice soft dough. The pieces of the shortening kind of stay in place. If you had butter, you'd see chunks of butter in there. Oops. Sorry about that noise. I think I need a little bit more buttermilk, because I want all that flour and all that good stuff in here. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we got it. Once I've got a nice dough, and I turn it out, get some flour on both sides. And I'm going to get that off my hands. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. And I'm going to get my biscuit cutter. I like large biscuits, but everybody's different. It's totally your personal preference. I like to get this rolled out first. And I might need a little more flour. And depending on how thick you like them, is also how you would roll out your dough. Because remember, they're going to rise up in the oven. So I think that's about right. And I don't twist, I just pop them out. If you twist, I think you end up changing the dough. I don't think they come up as flaky on the sides is what it comes down to. Because you want this to rise up and be in layers. And I don't waste any of the dough. If I've got any extra, I roll it back out. You go to all the trouble. Don't waste it, right? Okay, so ooh, these are going to be so good. Got the oven preheating at 350 degrees. And so you just get that rolled out again. And usually this makes about a dozen biscuits. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Just depends on how much you put together, right? And then we always have that fun, the biscuit that nobody sees but the cook. Because it's usually the first one that I eat. No. So there we go. I've got 13 biscuits. And I'm going to set these in the oven. And you just bake them off. It doesn't take that long. It's about 15 minutes. So I'll be back with the finished product. So while the biscuits are in the oven, I'm going to get my gravy ready. I used this dried beef because I don't have any sausage this morning. And actually this is 95% fat-free, so you want to rinse these pieces off because otherwise they're too salty. You can't eat it. It's nasty. So this makes a great, quick pantry meal. You can do this at night, over toast. We're going to have it this morning over biscuits. So I just cut up the pieces, and you know, so you've got little bite-sized pieces. And I've got butter melting over in the pan right now to start my roux. So I'm going to go over there and add flour to that, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I've got this roux going here on the stove, and just getting that butter and flour all incorporated together. It still needs a little bit more, actually. Okay, so I've got my butter in here. I've got about a half a cube of butter. And then this is about a half a tablespoon, maybe a little more, of bacon grease. And I saved this in the refrigerator. I just put it in a canning jar with the plastic lids on them. So when I open the canned bacon, I try not to waste that, because this will add flavor to this also. So we're going to get this all melted, incorporated with the flour, and start this roux action. In fact, I think it's probably going to need a little bit more flour. And I'm using that wheat flour, so it's gonna look a little more brown than if I were to use an all white flour. And you want to go ahead and let that cook a little bit so you pick out that raw flour taste. And then my husband and I don't drink a lot of milk, so we have almond milk and we have soy milk in the house, but for cooking and stuff, a lot of times, and this morning, I will use condensed, or evaporated milk. I'm sorry, not sweetened condensed, but evaporated milk. And I apologize, my hubby's got a movie on in the background. Hope it's not too loud. Anyway, so I'm getting this all put together, and I'll actually add some water or chicken stock to this also, and we will show you the finished product. I'm about ready to put my beef in there, and I'll be back. Alright YouTube, this is my finished product. These are the biscuits that just came out of the oven. They're pretty hot. See how nice they rose up. Oh, it is beautiful. Ooh, happy. So I put a couple of these down. I even add this little ugly one there. And this is the gravy. This was 1 can of the beef, and I added no salt because I rinsed the saltiness off of there. I did add pepper and thyme, and just a butter roux with the flour. And so this is plenty. I figured it out. It was about $4 to make this breakfast, and there's plenty here for 3 or 4 people. So I don't think that's half bad. Anyways, I hope this inspires you to do something that reminds you of your childhood, like this one does for me, or maybe just try something new. This all came out of my pantry, pretty much, and it was easy. It took no time at all. Alright, see you next time.